Okay, so graphing in standard form here, remember ax plus by is equal to c. This is standard form, and if we're going to graph in it, let's say if I had, I don't know, 8x plus, let's go, yeah, this is still 5.4, less than 5.4. Let's say 6y is equal to 24, okay? So if I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to graph this using standard form, I don't turn it into slope-intercept form. All right, I'm just going to leave it like this. But what did we say that we do?
We put the you make
Plug
use
in
zero.
plug in 0 for x or plug in 0 for y.
Okay, so I'm going to plug in 0 for x. All right, in which case that's going to be a point 0 something is going to be my y-intercept, and then later I'm going to plug in 0 for y, which is going to give me a point of something 0 over here. Right? Is that making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So when I plug in 0 for x, 0 times 8 is 0, and then I'm left with, so this kind of like, let's see, let's get ourselves a little sheet. Oh, here we go. So if I plug in 0, this cancels this out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, please stop saying magenta. All right. At this point, I divide both sides by 6, right?
Yeah.
So what's 24 divided by 6?
4.
4. So my y-intercept in this case is going to be 4. Right? And then next, if I went ahead and I plugged in 0 for y, as I'm stating over here, right? If I'm plugging 0 for y, 0 times 6 is 0, so that cancels out. And then we have 8x is equal to 24. Isolate x, you
3.
divide by 8, you 3. You divide by 8, you get 3. That's correct. Okay? 3. All right? And then if I was going to graph this out, how do I do this? How do I do this?
Up 4 over 3.
I go up 4 over 3, and I'm right here.
No, you go.
No, you
over
plug in the
0,
points.
up
0 up 4, and then you stop.
Okay, so you're saying my y-intercept is right here, and I go out ahead and go to 0, 4. Oh, I agree. And then my x-intercept is right here, so I go over 3 and up nothing, and then these guys connect, and that is how this line is graphed.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. Okay, so
This is how you get the line.
all right, everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
Okay, next, lesson 5.7. So 5.7 is the direct variation, okay? Direct variation always looks like y equals kx. So if I looked at something like 2x minus y is equal to nothing, all right, then I could go ahead and turn this into a direct variation equation by, yes?
Subtracting 2x.
So I subtract 2x from both sides. These cancel out, and I'm left with negative y is now equal to negative 2x, and okay, so I could, divide both sides by negative 1, which would leave me with y is equal to a positive 2x, and then I could graph this, and my graph would have what?
It would have to be the y-intercept.
Up 2 over 1.
All right, so I have a y-intercept of 0. That's important. So I have a y-intercept of 0, because this we could also say a plus 0 is over here. We just don't bother writing it, because every direct variation equation goes through 0, 0, which we also call the
Origin.
the origin. Okay? All right. That's a good guess. All right, so my slope is what?
2.
So I do what?
Go up 2
So I go up 2 over 1. Are we taking notes on this, or we're just like, wow, you look so good as you explained it? All right, so yeah, let's take notes on it. All right. So everybody cool with how to graph using direct variation? Is that like a yes?
That's a yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeehaw.
All right, yeehaw. Yeah, can I get? Okay. So for this one, to find our slope, we go 15 minus 2, and we go 20 minus 3, so we end up with a 13 over 17. Yes?
Yes.
Any question about that slope?
No.
Nope. Great. So now I go ahead and I plug in, and which one do you want to plug in?
20 and 15.
You want to go 20 and 15?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go 3 and 2. So you could have done that, and you're welcome to. It's not on my time. All right, 13 and 17 is the slope, and I have 3 as my x, and I'm going plus b. Ladies and gentlemen, this plus b is super important. Okay?
Will we have
Because we're
all
trying to isolate.
numbers like weird numbers like
I don't know. It depends on what the date is. So here we go. We want to go ahead and multiply this in. What is 3 times 13? 39. So now I've got 2 is equal to 39 over 17 plus b.
subtract minus 3.
You know, you can simplify this. You can simplify this.
2 over
We don't
5 over
have to.
17.
Do you have to?
Huh?
Right? 2
What?
over 5. 2
Yeah, 2 and 5/17. So this is 2. This simplifies to 2 and 5/17. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
All right. And then I just have to do what? How do I subtract?
2 and 5/17.
Because I have to isolate b.
Negative 5/17.
All right.
Yeah, it is negative 5/17.
And then the 2's, like 2 minus 2, that cancels out. And so I'm just left with negative 5/17 is equal to b. So my final equation,
Y equals 13/17.
y is equal to 13/17
Minus 5/17.
minus 5/17. Where's my error?
X.
I need an x. All right.
Yeehaw.
All right.
Yeehaw.
Great. Do me a favor. Turn this into standard form. Turn this into standard form right now. All right. Remember, standard form. You have your x and y what? On the same side. So turn this into standard form right now. Turn this into standard form. All right. This is lesson 6.4 right here. All right. So lesson 6.4 is putting stuff into standard form. All right. So to put that into standard form, tell me what you did. Yes.
You subtracted
Don't sound too excited.
to subtract 13 over 17x.
All right. So we're subtracting 13/17x from both sides, right? Yes. No.
Yes.
Maybe so. So now we have a negative 13/17x plus y is equal to negative 5/17. Perfect. We're done. Woo! I see people with their hands up. Why are people having their hands up? Yes, sir.
Is 6.1 have
Yes.
Can you also divide by negative 1 on both sides to get 13 over
Yeah, don't-
17x?
I could. What's the rule of standard form? Yes.
I thought you could, are you not allowed to have fractions of standard form?
You can't have the coefficient be a fraction, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all forgot. Y'all
It's gonna
forgot.
bite us on the test.
It would bite you on the test if you didn't take notes. So fix it. What do you have to then multiply this by?
Negative
Then
17.
just do it. Don't just tell me. Make it happen. Like write it down. Write it down. Are you understanding what we're saying?
You have to do it by
Yes, you have to do it.
No.
Now,
Do you
what
have
if
to
we don't
multiply by negative though?
I think it's nice to do it by negative.
Negative
But what if we
17
get it
times
wrong?
13.
Okay.
All right. So what am I multiplying this whole thing times?
17.
All right. I'm gonna do it by a negative 17 because I want to clean up my act here. So if I have 17 times this, am I actually literally thinking whatever 17 times 13 is and then divide by 17?
No
Oh,
way.
that's what I was doing.
No, because I can cross cancel, which gives me
13.
positive 13x, and this becomes
5.
17
Oh.
y.
Negative 17.
7.
Y.
Negative 17. What? And then
5.
5.
Negative 5.
No.
Is it negative or positive?
Negative
Positive 5. 'cause we're
Okay.
multiplying by
And then
negatives.
we're at peace, and I've been shown the signal for 5. All right. Good deal. And so this is the correct standard form. Okay, great. So what we were trying to do was we're trying to see if these three equations, are they parallel or perpendicular? The only way we can tell if they're parallel or perpendicular is to turn them into slope-intercept form, which means you have to,
Isolate y.
thank you, yeah, that's right. You have to isolate the y. So let's say I was going to isolate y here. What do I have to do?
Add 2x.
Okay, so over here we're going to go ahead and add 2x because that is the inverse operation, all right, is adding that. These cancel out. I'm left with y is equal to
2x plus 4.
wonderful, 2x plus 4. And this is the equation I'm going to look at, all right, for this one. All right, let's go ahead and do the red one down below, and let's isolate y.
Subtract 2x.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Inverse operation, subtracting 2x.
Divided by 5.
I'm going to do that 1 second. First, I'm just going to write them step by step. 5y is equal to negative 2x plus 2. And now I'm going to, as you stated,
Divide by 5.
divide by 5, okay, which leaves me with
Y equals negative 2/5 x
y is equal to negative 2/5 x
plus 2/5.
plus 2/5. And then the final one over here, right, the blue one, I want to
Subtract x.
we subtract x,
And then divide by 2.
right, because now I'm just going to rewrite it. 2y is equal to negative x plus 4, and then to isolate, we divide by 2, or you could think multiply by 1/2. Both of those are correct. And we're left with y is equal to,
Negative 1/2 x plus 2.
very nice.
Which
So, now when I look at these three equations, all right, and then I could go ahead and just highlight them so we know where to spot them. Okay, there's this one here, there's this one here, all right, and this one here. I'm looking at these three and I'm trying to figure out what lines are parallel and what lines are perpendicular, or if any. Do you see any, how do we tell if lines are parallel or perpendicular? Yes?
Parallel, they have the same slope.
in perpendicular, it's a negative inverse.
Okay, great. All right, so do you see any of them parallel? Do you see any same slopes?
Nope.
No.
You're saying no, no, lots of no's. All right, so that's like 2, negative 2/5, negative 1/2. All right, so no same slopes, no lines parallel. All right, you see any perpendicular?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm hearing yes. And where would you see perpendicular? Yeah.
The black equation and the blue equation because the negative inverse of 2x is negative 1/2.
Okay, so we have 2x and negative 1/2x. So this could be considered as 2/1, and this is negative 1/2. And you say the blue and the black, but I just look at this one as kind of like a white and gold, or a blue and gold.
No, it's
This
white.
is blue and
Oh my
gold versus a
God.
white and black.
I
All right,
red
so
and green.
You know.
It's pink and
Alright.
blue.
it's pink and orange. Why doesn't anybody see that?
It's
All
red
right.
and white. It's Santa Claus.
And chaos. Okay, great. So, oh, she's like, what? Ever? All right,
She has
so.
tears in her eyes. I feel bad for her.